So Grover Norquist, what interests you at this conference? What are you going to be most interested to see?
Well, the most important thing I picked up is that there are 8,500 people attending. That is about 1,700 more than the previous record. So it's a strong showing. Second, a lot of people are excited and enthusiastic, which is a little bit odd given that we lost the presidency in the House and Senate in the last two elections, but it's the enthusiasm is high rather than low. And we had more tables, meaning booths, that co-sponsors picked up here. And it's been a strong CPAC, just about the strongest ever. In addition to that, better House and Senate participation. Boehner has his PAC is here. The Congressional Committee is here, I think, for the first time ever.
Yeah.
So better coordination between the party and the movement, a bigger meeting, and an enthusiastic one. So, and plus, this is Old Home Week for people. I travel a lot. We have, 46 center-right coalition meetings around the country. So I see a lot of these guys when I travel around the country. But to run into 100 of them in a day is helpful.
One thing we were talking about before I turned the camera on was how much Bush bashing there's been. Newt Gingrich did a lot this morning. Does that surprise you at all, or?
It doesn't. I've been pleased at how little McCain bashing there was. We went immediately from losing the 2008 election to where do we go without spending 2 weeks doing a would've, could've, should've on McCain. I would have expected more of that, frankly. People are going to, after picking Palin, he hadn't endorsed the bailout. I mean, there were a number of inflection points for a McCain campaign. And nobody spent any time trying to rerun history. The good news for Republicans, I think, is that the Bush bashing has all been not therapeutic, as in catharsis, but has been analytical. What did we do that didn't work? We did this, we did this, and we did this. Bush led in certain directions, and we followed instead of pulling back on the reins and saying, hey, you walk out that direction, we're not with you. Spending was a problem. Focusing entirely on foreign policy and not focusing on running the American government was a challenge. So I think that there's been a healthy break with Bush. You don't want to run off the cliff and be saying, nice things about Bush in order to make him feel good. He's in charge of feeling good about himself. We don't have to do that. What you do want people to do is say, what did Bush do that was bad on principle, bad for the country, bad for the movement? Let's not do that again. It's not to pick on the guy. He's got to go live with himself for the rest of his life, which is probably going to be a little rough, given that his legacy is Pelosi, Reid, and Obama.
Right.
So that's a challenge, but I'm very pleased that the modern Republican Party and the center-right movement has looked at Bush and said, what do we learn from this, good and bad? Let's move on. People are not walking back down the road to kick him, but they are looking back to see what went wrong and moving on. So it's a healthy Bush bashing to the extent that it happens. It's not we don't like him personally and we don't like his mother. There are 4 or 5 things he did that were very costly to the country and the movement and to the American political process. Let's learn from those things.